Hello again and welcome back to Algebra 2 Notes with Miss Faust. Today we are continuing lesson 3.6.5, that's why I called it B. And our essential question is the same as last time. What are some ways to divide polynomials? How do you know when the divisor is a factor of the polynomial? So you might have noticed that word some ways last time, and then you got to the end and you were like, oh my gosh, she only showed us one way. That is not some ways, that's one way. Well, I know that. And guess what? Today I'm going to show you another way. So the way that we're going to look at today is a shortcut, and it only works at certain times. And that's important because if you try to use this other times, it won't work. So this is a shortcut for long division, and it works when the divisor, or that thing at the end, is what we call linear. So what that means, if it's a linear factor, it means we're dividing by something like x minus 2, x plus 3, x minus 7, etc. It doesn't work if we have an x squared here. It doesn't work if we have an x cubed or anything else. So it only works if there's two parts and there's a plus or minus in between. So it's x plus or minus something. So if you have x plus or minus something, then this shortcut will work. And this shortcut is called synthetic division. I don't know where the name comes from, but that's what it's called. So it's called synthetic division. It's a quicker way to divide polynomials if you're dividing by a linear factor. And remember that when we divide, if we have no remainder, then we know that whatever we have is a factor. So we're always looking to see if we have a remainder when we're done or not. So like I did with division, I'm going to do an example first because usually the steps make more sense if you've seen it done once. So follow along with this example and then I'll give you some steps after that. Okay, so our example is 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 16 divided by x minus 4. So notice that we have an x plus or minus something here, so that means that this shortcut will work. So the first thing that we have to do, and there's some weird things about this because it's a shortcut, like with any shortcut, it doesn't always make a lot of sense. It's just a quicker way to get to the answer. So I don't love shortcuts. I don't love this shortcut, but that's okay. I'll show it to you anyway because some of you will love it. So what we do, and it's going to look funny at first, but just stick with me. We take this negative 4 and we make it positive 4, and we just put it in a little box. So we take the opposite of this number. Remember, x's lie, so it goes with that idea still. And we put that number right there. Then we're going to take all of the coefficients, so all of the numbers in the parentheses, but without the x parts, and we're going to list them after that. 2, negative 7, negative 8, and positive 16. So I'm just taking all of those numbers that were in front here, and I'm listing all of them out. If I had had a missing term, like if this didn't have this negative 7x squared and there was no x squared anywhere, I'd have to put a 0 here, or this method wouldn't work. So just like before, you have to keep track of the exponents in decreasing order. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, I'm going to leave a blank space. And again, remember, this is a shortcut. Shortcuts look weird. They don't always make sense. They're just a quick way to get to the answer. So make a line, leaving a space in between, and then bring down the very first coefficient. So I bring that down and I just put a 2 down there. Now I start multiplying. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do 4 times 2. I think I can write that in small here. So I take this 2 and I multiply it by 4. 2 times 4 gives me 8, and I put the 8 right there. Now I add. So we brought down the first one. We multiplied by this number on the outside. Now we add. Negative 7 plus 8 is positive 1. Now we multiply again. So we take this 1, and again we're going to multiply it by 4. We're always multiplying by this number on the outside. 1 times 4 is 4. We add again. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. We multiply again. We multiply the negative 4 by positive 4. Again, that comes from here. Negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. We add those and we get a 0. We always put this answer in a box because the answer is going to be our remainder. And then what we're going to do is this gives us our answer. So what we have to do to translate this into a division answer, because right now it's just giving us the coefficients, what we have to do is we have to look at our original exponent. We go down 1 from that. So first we had 2x cubed. Now we're going to have 2 from right here, x squared. And then we just count down from there. So 2x squared plus 1x minus 4. And there's no x's left to put with that. And the remainder is 0. So this is our answer for this problem. If we had a remainder here, we'd have to do one more thing with it, but we don't have to in this case. So that's our final answer. So we know that 2x cubed, oops, you can't see that, just kidding. There we go. 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 16 divided by x minus 4 is equal to 2x squared plus x, or 1x, minus 4. We also know that x minus 4 is a factor of this original polynomial, and we know that that original polynomial, 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 8x plus 16, is equal to x minus 4 times 2x squared plus x minus 4. So we know the factored form of this polynomial. Okay, so again, the synthetic division gives us the answer when we divide the polynomials, but we're just using only the coefficients when we do it. So I'm going to take a minute, I'm going to write the steps on the next page and give you a chance to copy them down, and then we'll meet up again and we'll do a couple more examples after that. Okay?